When it comes to body trust, I really think a lot more about the bigger picture for me. When I say that, I think of it as like how I connect to my body now. And I think about when I was in my eating disorder and even my early eating disorder recovery. I really thought that my body was this like separate thing that I had to fight against or try to fix, that it wasn't really something that was part of me in a way. It was almost separate. Like when I first started seeing my dietitian for my recovery, I remember thinking like, finally, I'm going to have someone on my team that's going to help me kind of fix this. You know, it felt like it was something that I was going to be able to control and to fix and to figure out. That's how I thought of my body, not as something that I wanted to necessarily take care of or that I really wanted to connect to or that I looked to for information. It was more about me being in my head trying to control it and fix it. So that's what I think of when I think about body trust, is this bigger picture connection about looking to my body for its wisdom that it could share with me. And when I think about how that actually applies now, like how do I use that body trust today? It's in a few different forms. One really is in terms of food, which means that I check in with, what do I feel like eating? Am I hungry? Am I full? As opposed to using external things to tell me that I should eat, whether that's a specific meal plan, whether that's a diet of some sort, like counting calories or macros, or whether that's rules about when I'm supposed to eat or the type of food groups. It's really checking in with my body's wisdom and internal cues as opposed to external. I also think of it in terms of trusting my body to take care of the food. So I trust that when I eat, my body's going to handle it just fine, regardless of what I eat. My body will be okay. It will be able to handle it. And it's going to give me some feedback so that even if I eat a little bit more than feels good, I'm going to get that feedback. And I can look at that with compassion, with curiosity, checking in with that, as opposed to beating myself up for it. The other part of that is that when I feed my body or when I move my body, I trust that if I'm listening to it, then my body is going to grow in whatever way that it needs. It's going to be whatever size or shape that it needs to be when I'm connected and listening to it. And that goes for food, that goes for movement, that goes for rest, that goes for sleep. So the bigger picture is that I'm checking in and trusting that these signals are okay, instead of thinking that something's wrong with my body. I need to override the signals or change them, or change myself or my appearance for it. So that whole bigger picture is to just be connected and have trust in those internal cues instead of thinking that I need to override them with external cues.